Well, good morning, folks. This is going to be a fantastic leading your best life. You know, I say it every time, but this is really about AI helping you lead your best life. Now, I know people have got fears about AI, but that's why I'm here with one of the founders of Multiple AI here in Perth, Ron Forlee. Ron, welcome to Leading Your Best Life.
Thanks, Lee. Thanks for the opportunity to talk about AI, which is very topical at the moment.
Absolutely, mate. As my understanding is,
Yep.
it's exponential. It's on YouTube. It's all over the place.
Oh, of
And
course.
and my wife goes, "Oh, Lee, AI is taking over," and Elon Musk says so. There's all this chatter, and it's really top of mind with so many people. But before we
Yep.
get into that, Ron, tell us about your background, your journey. I've had a quick look at your LinkedIn
Sure.
profile. There is very expansive.
Uh,
Tell us about your background and how you've got into this AI and multiple AI.
all right. Okay, Lee. I'm an architect by profession. I'm semi-retired. Had a practice that ran for a number of years in Perth, and also a property developer. I've done some significant projects not only in Australia but internationally as well. I've traveled a lot, done projects in China, back in South Africa. um, and also in Vietnam and various other places. I've also authored several books on property development. Also have online courses where I train young development entrepreneurs. Uh, but I've always been interested in technology and how it can better real estate. I also looked at some stage on blockchain technology and how it could tokenize real estate. But obviously, the whole cryptocurrency world collapsed, and so did the concept of blockchain fall by the wayside. However, AI disappeared, and I just became a student of it and started delving very deep into actually helping me as a tool in my writing. I won't at all say discredit it at all. I'm just saying, well, it is a tool. It has helped me. In fact, it's improved my writing skills. I might put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the important thing is say, oh, anybody can just go and put, a subject matter and AI will produce a book. That is absolute rubbish.
Mm.
You got to be understand what makes a book. And this is the thing that's happening is called prompt engineering. All right. And yeah, so I've used it as a tool, and that's where my foray into AI. Yep.
Prompt engineering. I like that concept.
Yep.
Tell me more
Yep.
about that.
Prompt engineering, it's interesting, preliminary you mentioned, AI is going to take jobs. Yes, it will certainly, especially in automation areas, uh, where there is a repetitive task, AI will take over. That's a fact, right? And I think some of the real gurus out there talk about it. No, but the same token, there are going to be jobs appearing. And one of the ones I talk about is prompt engineering.
Mm-hmm.
Prompt engineering is about how you actually ask questions. How do you get the best out of AI? AI just reacts to you to the request you put forward. So in context of that, you got to actually prompt AI in the direction that you want. For instance, as an author, I would pick a subject which I'm writing. I generally do the table of contents first. It's my skeleton, right?
Mm-hmm.
So but prior to that, I would even spend at least a few hours talking about the subject with AI. So the computer starts thinking about the subject matter, and I'll discuss the various things. Then we go in what I call the table of contents, which is a skeleton. Then we fit in the body parts. Then we go through each chapter. I edit it along the way. I'm not happy at and prompted and said, no, you haven't answered this thing quickly or correctly. Now, that is all good. Once you fulfill all that, now you've got to bear in mind AI can hallucinate, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, you can say, okay, it's a bot, but it does get tired and it can see it weaning off. But sometimes if it does hallucinate, it will give you the wrong facts. And it has been proven by many other parties that actually have used references from AI which are totally incorrect, and that's hallucination. So what I do is that I don't use one single language model, large language model. I use probably two or three others, and I fact check all my references.
Right. So you might use GPT chat, Claude, etc.,
Yes.
etc.
Yeah. For example, I use Perplexity because Perplexity will give me the references,
Oh,
right,
nice.
where it's extracted from, and it was the images where it's extracted from. So each model is different in a way. So I use ChatGDP because it's probably one of the first, and it's got all my identity, no higher rights. It knows the way about my personality.
Mm,
So it helps because I don't have to constantly repeat it. If I go to another large language model, it means they're starting all over again because I have a pattern of way I write. But when it comes to fact checking, I would go to, for example, as I said, Perplexity. I would say check all these references, right? So it qualifies that, right? And it
mm.
has been in instances where I suggested a quote from something about Confucius, and this is what it says. I said, give me a quote. So it says Confucius, and I fact check it, and it says no, Confucius wasn't the one that actually started that quote.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it started as a concept, but it was not actually Confucius.
Yeah. So often out there on the internet, there's all of this, Einstein said this or Gandhi said that. And all of a sudden you go fact check
Yeah,
and know that neither of them said it. So you've got to
of
be
course.
so careful, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So coming back to the question about, we're going to lose jobs. Yeah, as I said, certainly. But you've got to look at avenues and even if you have a job, you go to ChatGPT or any large language model, say, what's the future? Tell
Yeah.
me what job opportunities there are, right? I mean, it's like anybody. You can't be stuck in one place and say, oh, the world's collapsing. When the Industrial Revolution happened, when the tractor came on board, everybody said we're going to lose jobs.
Mm.
But it's improved things, and that's the way I see it. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Now, talking of that, how did being an author, architect, real estate developer lead to you being involved as a co-founder of Multiple AI?
Okay. So the story goes is that I was invited by a counselor or financial planner. He was talking about financial planning. And he asked me to say, look, Ron, can you bring some of your books and talk about financial planning in terms of real estate investment? Which I did and brought and gave it as a guest speaker. But his two assistants were people in digital technology, and they were assisting him with a PowerPoint, and they started chatting to me. After listening to the talk, Ali and Jared came to me and said they'd like to be mentored.
Oh,
So
right.
they would like to get into property development. Then I said, look, gentlemen, what do you do? So they are we in digital marketing and we understand what's happening, but we focused on that. And I said to them, look, to be quite frank, you are at the early stages of a massive change and a massive opportunity.
Mm,
If you want to go into property development and what is your goals? You want to be a multimillionaire, right? That will take you some time to get with property development. It takes time.
mm,
I said, you got an opportunity where everything's going to be disrupted with AI. And how about going into it and start looking at, because if I take the basic business model, when you do property development, it's capital intensive. To
hmm
make $1 million return, you've got to put more capital in, right?
mm,
Whereas with technology, it's a flywheel motion. Once you've got the basis of a product, it constantly just churns as a flywheel. So then I said, look, guys, I want to put you in a direction where I think where there's going to be a service needed in Australia and it's growing in America, and that is agentic AI. So I wrote the paper for them. In fact, I wrote the business plan for them, came up with the name, did the logos and everything. I said, gentlemen, this is the way you're going to go. I ever said, look, please, I've got other interests. I'm semi-retired. I don't want to be running it on a day-to-day basis,
mm.
but willing to assist you along the way. I'll write the papers, give you guidance. So I basically was their mentor.
Wow.
And then
It's
from
got,
there, what actually happened was they started going in. We used to have weekly meetings and giving them direction. They finally came back and with a number of meetings, it's like any business, Lee, their ups and downs, what we're doing wrong. They were getting frustrated trying to penetrate the market. Then I said, look, go out and network, go out to all the events wherever you can. Keep on marketing. That's the only way you're going to get exposure.
Mm.
And yeah, they've grown significantly since the beginning of this year.
Yeah,
Um,
brilliant.
and I'm not surprised in a great way, Lee, because if you look at the general spectrum, everybody's talking about AI. So what happens? Businesses start looking, how can they adopt AI? Right now, there's a growing need for that. So with that, they're now picking up clients not only locally but also from the eastern states, and
Yeah,
similarly from Singapore through pure exposure. And the
yeah.
reason why I say that is that there's a massive shortage of AI developers out there. We are fortunate because we have built the team. We've got about 12 here, staff in Perth, which is great from a local point of view. And we've got 6 AI specialists, another 20 other staff internationally, and probably 10 of them are AI specialists as well. So we do have the team. But I think for any uh, businesses for to cover the Australian market, it's very important to be local.
Yes.
I've dealt with international developers and that. It's a bit of a nightmare in terms of communication and
Mm.
understanding how businesses run. So with that, we are very local. Even though we're based in Perth, we still have Eastern States clients as well. Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, having said that, let's as I say, some of the things I talked about at
Yep.
the start, then off air was this. We've touched on already about how we're saying the future won't wait. Will you? People sitting around worrying about AI. Now, as I
Sure.
said, here I am with the t-shirt I'm wearing. I'm in the business of helping people with lead flow,
Yep.
sales flow, cash
Yep.
flow, and
Yes.
therefore freedom. And of
Yep.
course, I think where we link in beautifully is that we've now got AI tools that can help with lead flow, can help
Yep.
with sales flow, can
Yes.
certainly help with cash flow,
Yes.
and give business owners and entrepreneurs and salespeople
Sure.
more freedom. So I want to
Yes.
talk about that in specifically some of the key tools and products that you guys have.
Yep.
At the same time, there's people saying, AI is not going to replace you. It's a person using the AI. This Gary
Yep.
Kasparov, the chess master,
Yep.
where AI should be, and you've already touched on it, should be seen as an augmentation of human
Yes.
abilities, or not necessarily a replacement for them. And
Yep.
so it's on and on. The great experts are saying, listen, don't worry about AI replacing humans.
Yep.
Get good at using the AI so that
Yep.
it replaces tools. It gives people more time in your business so that
Sure.
they're not tied up. So
Yep.
I want to get to talk with you about some of these tools that you guys
Yep.
have at Multiple AI, and maybe we'll go through them one at a time.
Sure.
Um, and maybe give me some examples of it
Okay.
could be financial planners or lawyers or accountants
Yes.
who are using these tools to create more lead flow, sales flow, cash flow, better customer
Yes.
service. Um, so this one, Ron, tell me
Yep.
about this AI
Okay.
receptionist agent. What's all that about?
Sure. Okay. So just by a bit of background to give context to what we're talking about. So when we started the whole agentic AI, we would say, what's the low-hanging fruit? So the low-hanging fruit, if you look at what the opportunities are in providing what we call AI agents, you take, for example, tradies. Tradies on the tools 24, well, most of the time, they don't have time to take calls. They don't
Yeah.
have receptionists already. So we actually say, we'll give you a receptionist. So what the receptionist does, it's voice activated, obviously, and she will make the bookings. If they don't miss an opportunity at all, somebody may request a quote, right? So for them, for having a receptionist to take the call, make the booking, make the appointment, it's a great tool for tradies and anybody else who don't have the receptionist. And Australia probably has that system because we all do subcontracting.
Yes.
Yep. So that's a massive benefit. Now, additional benefit is that it's quite strange. One of the clients we've got is Vietnamese. Now, the accent's not very good. However, the AI agent, she's got a very good Australian accent, or
Okay.
he, whichever you choose. So communication becomes a lot better in terms of that. As far as bigger companies, certainly, if you're overwhelmed with calls, just having that receptionist will take the load off other receptionists as well. So it has a lot of significant benefits, and it's available 24/7.
Mm. Brilliant, brilliant. Wow. And so, as you say, one of your clients is Vietnamese. So, can you give me an example of feedback you've got from either a tradie or one of the other clients saying, mate, this has really changed my life, or this is the key difference it's made for me?
Yeah, yeah. I think unfortunately the older website, because we upgraded our website, there were testimonials by our clients, and I mean I can certainly forward. And the Vietnamese guy is certainly speaks about the benefits because he's actually manufactures clothing or for or uniforms and things like that, and he's busy working on the tools. He cannot take up all the calls, and
Yeah.
but having that receptionist that certainly has helped him and improved his business.
And of course, it means he's not dropping what he's doing to answer the phone.
Exactly.
He
Yep.
and losing concentration, and he's caught mid. He's
Yep.
already, his brain's focused on making something, and then he's got to handle a call. Whereas the AI, the receptionist agent, can
Yep.
literally follow a system, as you
Yes.
say, human-like conversational tone,
Yes.
and it links in with the CRM, so you don't actually lose the lead by the look
Exactly.
of it as well.
Yep. Yep. Massive benefits on that. Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic,
Yep.
fantastic. Well, let
Yep.
me go to the next one because there's just so many great tools you guys have
Yep.
developed here. How does that differ from this one here, the customer support
Okay.
AI
So,
agent?
when people have complaints, or you waiting for you find up, for example, the bank or some other bureaucratic um, department, you wait for hours.
Mm,
Okay, we'll keep you on hold. We'll call you back. Now, if you have a customer support agent, it's 24/7. It can obviously give you where in direction where you want to go, or take it and get somebody to call you back. At least you're getting noticed. I mean,
yeah,
what's more irritating than sitting there for half an hour with nobody getting back to you? Just you hear background music all the time. It's most irritating. So customer support service is that's what it's about. Interestingly, talking about that, I noticed an Indian company raised 60 million for call center. All right, which means that we as Australians, how often we call to complain or whatever, or make an inquiry, we actually speaking to somebody in the Philippines or in India. Now, what's far better than having your own within your own company a customer support service,
yeah,
your own
yeah.
call center? Yeah,
Mm, And you're not spending millions doing it.
yep,
And as you say, zero wait time for customers rather
yep.
than all that ding dong music and another ad and another this and a press one
Yeah,
for this and all of
sure.
that. Wow, that's
Yep,
fantastic.
yeah.
And the types of people, types of clients you have using this service are what?
Well, it's one of the new ones we've got that it started off. So how we actually analyze a lot of these things, we see what customers are really going to need, right?
Yeah.
So what we are, maybe it's a different strategy. We preempt what is a real need.
Yes.
The customer support one, I'm because I'm not on the full executive side, but I
Yeah.
know Ali and Jared have got a few clients with that already.
Fantastic. Fantastic. All right. Let's go to the next one then. Then this is different
Yep.
again. The
Yeah.
admin
Okay.
AI agent.
Okay. So the admin AI agent is basically not a voice agent. It's in the background. It
Hmm.
just keeps your files in order.
Hmm.
It places that in chronological order, date-wise, etc. It keeps your invoicing one side, your files, your quotes. It puts it in order, and it's basically a filing system. Yeah.
Great. And who uses that? Has there been
Yep.
tradies or lawyers
Tradies.
or financial planners or accountants?
Yep.
Who's using it?
Tradies, small businesses.
Yep.
Most where we started off, Lee, was targeting small businesses
Yes.
because you take the big businesses, they've got plenty of staff already.
Yeah.
We looked and say small businesses where they're going to need tools.
Yeah. 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 No, I was literally on a Zoom call with the leadership team of small business. And
Yep.
one of the things we're literally talking about today was how the founder of the business is pulling his hair out. He's got so many different jobs to do, and the guys are going, you've
Yep.
got to get support, you've got to get
Yep.
automation, you've got to let things
Yep.
go, stop trying to do everything yourself. And
Exactly.
so this admin AI agent, I imagine, would be one of those
Yep.
tools so that the founder is not running around doing all these things, but in fact his tasks or her tasks are there. Um,
Yep.
you link to the CRM and things
Yes.
don't fall off the back. In fact, this is what they said about this fellow
Exactly.
this morning. You know,
Yep. Yep.
we send you messages, then you forget to do certain tasks, and we're sitting waiting, but
Exactly.
it's dropped off the back of the truck, and all of a sudden a
Yep.
week goes by, and we've got an unhappy customer because
Yep.
you've forgotten to do a task.
Exactly. Yep. So
Right.
that's what the admin agent is. Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Assist you.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go to the next one. The social media AI agent. So I'm sure that links in with lead flow and marketing, does it?
Yes, yes, it's more to do with that. So I know, I mean, I used it in the early days. I mean, I had an assistant in the Philippines who was doing my social media on some of the books and the courses I was driving.
Hmm.
Now, this is all automated with social media. Obviously it helps you to write up the post using AI. It analyzes your business and what message you're trying to get across and what you're trying to achieve. And it assists you with various posts. And through automation, it will load it up, whether it's on LinkedIn or whether it is on Facebook or Instagram, TikTok, whatever. It automates and loading it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And I'm thinking here, as you're saying, these all work 24/7 for
Yep.
you,
Yes.
and the fees are quite low. And again, if you're thinking 24 hours a day,
Yeah.
you're probably paying, I don't know,
Oh,
10 cents an hour or some ridiculous number, isn't it? It's such a low
well,
number.
it's significant lower. I mean, if you say, for example, what would you pay? Let's take the typical receptionist.
Yeah,
What should be earning, maybe 500, 750 a week?
yeah,
Yep. Or say it was 800. Uh, one of these, that particular agent is 700 a month.
yeah, yeah.
So
So
you can see it's probably about 25% of a general cost.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yep.
It's a great, and of course, same here with social media
Yep.
agent. What you would pay someone to be your social media agent to do
Yep.
this would be
Yep.
something at least that as well.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. You got to do all the posts. You got to employ somebody to write up the post. You've got to make sure that maybe you have an automation, the various tools that actually post it. Even when there are comments made, the social media agent will be able to pick it up. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it
fantastic.
can respond if necessary.
So cross-platform, there could be
Yep.
Instagram, LinkedIn,
Yep.
YouTube,
Yep.
TikTok, Facebook,
Yep.
whatever other, and
Social
and
media. Yep.
and as you say, using the content calendar, you've got a planned out approach
Yes.
to
Yep.
support your campaigns, to support
Yeah.
your promotion.
Exactly. Yep.
Fantastic. All right, let's go to the next one. Data reactivation AI
Okay.
agent. Tell me about
This
that.
this is very interesting. So let's take, for example, a financial planner
Hmm.
who's over the years have dealt with so many clients, right? And he's got a CRM that he hasn't contacted the client for maybe 3, 4 years. And the data reactivation is say, hey, I'm still here. How can I help you? How's your financial circumstances? Where can we assist you? So it's coming and bringing your own clients back to you, right?
Yes.
Which helps. And this all started off with yes, it was a finance broker, right? That actually asked us for a tool like this. And in fact, we've got about 3 or 4 clients now using it.
Yeah,
We
fantastic.
even got one um, fund manager from the Eastern States, from Queensland, want to use this particular tool for their investment. They've got all these whole bunch of investors they've used, and data reactivation is to say, hey, we're still here, we're still concerned about you. How's your investment into our funds and all that? So
Yeah.
it's in a way sort of like a PR public relationship building in a way too, to say
Yes. Well,
we have not
we
forgotten you.
We have a tool we call the R factor. The R factor is the relationship factor, and the relationship factor is frequency times quality of contact,
Yes,
where the quality of contact is friendliness times value. So we're saying
yes,
the more touch points you can have without annoying the person, the more
yep,
you're building that relationship. And there's a
yep,
great quote from Heralticus, who that is
yeah,
a
yeah.
philosopher: "You
And
can never step into the same river twice."
yeah,
That
and the beauty of having, because you train the agent in its language and its tone, right?
yes,
So many a times, you can hear on the person on the other side of the phone, if you're complaining with them, they get very frustrated.
mm,
With this calmness, you tell, to the agent to talk in a calm manner, right?
hmm,
The same thing if they're approaching older clients, it reacts in that way to speak in a language that's in line to keep everybody in an equal level. So it doesn't reach to heights with this conflict.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. So whereas often with a human being, at times, particularly if they're untrained
Yep.
or they're stressed, all of
Yes.
a sudden a minor problem becomes a major problem
Oh,
because
definitely.
they're the ones wound up.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
particularly like also the lead warming. This is a process, my color zone system in the yellow zone, which is the lead
Yes.
generation,
Yep.
lead nurturing zone. We say, um, before you, if you say set the meeting with the prospect and then you're
Yep.
going to go and have it, what you do in between from the
Yes.
meeting being set, so you can warm the lead up with
Yep.
various pieces of information. It could be
Yeah.
podcast, could be a
Yeah.
brochure, could be a little video, could be a whole range of things that can be done to
Yes.
warm. So when you walk in the room, you're
Yeah. No surprises.
pre-positioned. It's Cialdini's work on what we call
Well,
persuasion.
yeah, and I think it's the same thing, when I approach you, you kept on saying, "Oh, this is what I'm going to talk about." It's
Yes.
it's a way to make me feel comfortable. What's the subject matter? It's the same thing. You can do that lead warm up and say, "We're going to cover this," or etc., or the appointment is to discuss your specific item. So you're aware what's going to happen at that meeting. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes, and as those multiple touch points in advance of the meeting
yep.
makes all the difference. So
Oh,
this is
exactly.
fantastic, and we
Yes,
actually say our purple zone in the color zone system is the
yep,
repeat business and referrals
yes,
zone. And in the ideal world, we say 80% of your business should come from repeat business and referrals.
exactly.
But many businesses don't do this, yet they've got this wonderful database. They've had fantastic relationships with clients, but they're too
Yep,
busy chasing new clients
yes,
instead of working their existing database.
yeah,
So I think
exactly.
that there's real gold in this data reactive activation AI.
Yeah. And I may add that, Lee, if you've got a big sales team, your sales agents actually are not there forever. So you build the CRM and the previous, who follows up from there?
Mm,
Who keeps your clients and say you're still important to us?
yes,
You know,
yes,
and through this reactivation is to say all the redundant ones because James, he's brought 200 clients to us, but what's happened to them? They left in the cold.
yeah,
Whereas this data reactivation could certainly assist and pick up the old clients and say, we're still here. And you may find out that their needs were not fulfilled.
yeah,
And you
absolutely.
could continue with that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Brilliant, brilliant. No, there's real gold there. That's a
Yep.
gold mine.
Yep.
Let's talk about this one though, the
Yep.
AI sales agent, which is different again. Your high performance closer. Tell me about that.
Well, this is typical. Imagine being and I think, if you go to some of the social media, if you've heard about these are actually people making cold calls.
Mm,
I've seen many of them and we've got this one as well. So you would call up, or vice versa, a cold calling. So you get a prospect or a referral, the agent would fall up and arrange a booking for somebody or a real person to meet, right? It cannot close. I'll make that, and I don't think it's fair to any human that a bot trying to close you on a deal.
yeah,
It's more to activate, as you say, cold calling to lead to a meeting or an iteration with another human or
yeah.
another salesperson. Yeah, yeah,
which again, the part of sales that most small business people and most salespeople hate
Yep.
is this cold calling and, as you say, warm calling of follow-ups, or even
Sure.
the qualification. They
Yep.
want to sit in front of a highly qualified, warmed-up lead. And so
Yep.
here, between the AI sales agent and some of the other
Yep.
tools you've got, you can
Yep.
really both get the lead and
Yep.
warm them up and
Yep.
qualify them before you
Sure.
actually, and as
Yep.
people say, there's a real cost in going to a meeting with someone or even having someone come into your office.
Sure.
It's time. If you're
Yep.
actually going out to their place, like in my case the other day, I drove out to Midland
Yep.
twice. It's like an hour out there,
Yeah.
meeting for an hour. There's 3 hours
Oh,
involved. It's like,
wasted.
mate, this person better be a qualified lead. Otherwise, I'm wasting good oxygen and good petrol and good
Yep.
time,
Yep.
let alone money. So this tool. So what types of businesses are using this AI sales agent, Ron?
You take, for example, real estate agents.
Yes.
When they're trying to find a listing or whatever, they might see a particular property, they find the details, they go to council, they get who the owners are. So if you're scouting for listings or anything like that, it's a perfect tool. You can phone up in a nice way, and the beauty of it is that, as I said, it's the emotion is not there. How often, as I worked in real estate at one stage, early part of my life. To do cold calling was pretty tough.
Mm,
The abuse you'd get. Now, you get demotivated, right?
yeah.
So if you had organized this, you have to do 10 cold calls and hopefully get one, and there's this abuse that it's not there. You don't get demotivated. You know, yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
And these days, with the AI sales agent, my understanding is you can choose the accent. So,
yep,
in the past, if we wanted to get cheap cold calling done, it may be out of India or the Philippines. The moment
yes,
we pick up the accent, it's like, mate, I'm out of here. Whereas now,
yep,
now these AI sales agents can be an Australian accent or an English accent or
yeah,
a
yeah.
country of origin accent, I imagine. Is that what
And
happens?
yep, and you can choose any language that you want. If you're
Wow.
calling up an Asian owner, it can speak Mandarin.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can see how the benefits of having, the way we're structuring things. Because and Lee, frankly, this is where AI is going. I mean, if you said to me a year ago, it could have done this, it was, it's now secondary. This
Yeah.
adoption of new languages. I mean, there's 50 different languages it can speak, right? But we've
Incredible.
we've we've designed ours. We've got about 25 languages. It really needs to be polished. Not to say all the languages are covered.
Mm.
Um, yeah, and we rather select a few that we know are within Australia and the
Yeah.
type of people we have here. Yeah, yeah,
Mate, that is just, as you say, uh, a year or so ago when I heard some of the calls, you could tell they were AI, but the improvement
yep,
that's gone on now,
yep,
it's almost indistinguishable. And of
yes,
course, where I know, I think I said to Ali and Jared, they had said that most people will have it in the script that, hi,
yep,
I'm Lee's digital assistant or I'm
yes,
Ron's digital assistant, so that
yes,
people know.
yep,
It's not saying I'm Lee's AI sales agent,
yep,
but it's I'm Lee's digital assistant, and
yes,
people then know. And yet I know many people have said to me, because I've tested this in
yep,
conversation, look, I'm happy if I can get information talking to AI
yep,
to help me get an idea of what
sure,
the company does or how it can help
yep.
me, then I'm happy to have the conversation with AI.
Why not? Yep. Yeah, at least you're getting the answers. Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep.
And
Immediately.
so that, I think that's been a shift in the marketplace even over
Yep.
the 12-month period.
Yes.
That people are happy to do that if it's going to
Yep.
actually add value or help them. So
Yep.
this is, as you say, for anyone involved in sales from real estate, uh,
Yep.
business coaching, accountants, financial planners, mortgage.
Sure.
If you've got to just make those calls and look, and many times, and we've taught people this over the time, as
Yep.
one of my clients said, quantity leads to quality, uh,
Yes.
and quantity. The more calls you make, the
Yep.
more prospects you'll dig up. And certainly over the
Sure.
time, I've had people cold call me, and I've bought things from cold calling. There's an
Yep.
iPad and phones and this and that.
Yep.
So people say cold calling doesn't work. Oh, yes, it does.
Of course.
You just
Yep.
got to
Yep.
churn through to find who are the 3% in the market today who want
Yes.
your service. without
Exactly.
actually having to deal with the rejection and the time and the energy. So what a
Yes.
great tool. What a great
Yeah.
tool.
Yeah.
I'll go to the next one. Client intake AI agent. Tell me about this one.
Okay. So basically, if you're a lawyer, whatever, um, the to get all the data or how you're going to serve that particular, it's similar to the sales in a way, but if you
Mm,
get a client referred to you as a lawyer, uh, you qualifying them, or say for example, I deal very closely with a financial planner. There are a lot of people that do not fit in their category or their type of service they're offering. So it's basically qualifying that and whether you can service that particular client of the type of services you're providing. As you know, lawyers have different specialities, so it might not be the right party. So, a lawyer's time is very important, and they do
mm,
charge. So, you don't want to charge a client that you're not able to service.
yep,
Yeah.
yep,
Financial
yep.
plan is very interesting because they, for example, have a significant professional indemnity, which means the advice they give, they've got to be very careful, right? So,
Yeah,
to get a client that say, I've got 100,000 in my super, can you do something about my financial planning? You could spend the same amount of time, but because you're charging quite a significant amount for your advice, they might not be able to afford it, right?
yeah, yeah.
Although it's cold in a way, but you as a business, your time's precious to you. So
But at the same time,
basically,
as you say, it might be whether it be the lawyer or the financial planner or the
yep,
mortgage broker, there are documents you might want the person to bring, whether it
yes,
be bank
correct,
statements or
exactly,
contracts
yep,
or other mortgage documents or insurance documents,
yes,
that by bringing them, you
prior,
can
yep,
help the person there. And then rather than they get there and they
yep.
say, "Did you bring ABC documents?" Oh, I didn't know I had to. You go, "Oh my God."
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and it happens many a times. Yeah, yeah, and it
Yes.
just prepares the client prior to the engagement. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay. Let's go to the next one. SEO AI agent.
yeah.
This is,
It's probably more aligned to the social media marketing. It's just qualifying. I think those two should be integrated with the social media
mhm.
because of all the content that's driven. But yeah, if you're putting out posts, you want to ensure that your SEO is optimized. So really, I think our social media together with SEO should be integrated.
A double
Yeah,
whammy.
but it's
Yep.
it's similar, But how many times? But not everybody put out information out there consistently. Now and then, if you want to take a certain lead, you're going to post something, and you want to make sure that it is SEO optimized. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. As a friend of mine once said, if you have a website or a post,
Yep.
it could be just like a billboard in the desert. No,
Exactly.
you've done a
Yep.
marvelous post or website, but no
Yep.
one's actually
No one's
seen it.
seeing it. Yep.
So there's a whole,
Exactly.
as you say, there's a whole science
Yep.
to this, and having someone or an agent able to do that
Yep.
keyword research and
Yes.
help with that optimization of all the
Yep.
things you create is super
Yes.
important. Great.
Yep. Definitely. Yep.
This one here, this is the
Yeah.
bane of so many businesses, the invoicing and all of the back end
Uh,
tax. So tell me about this.
look, going back to the tradie again, right? Uh, they just don't have the time, and it's generally the wife that does all the books. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, she's not the tax accountant or anything. So the bot is trained to understand the taxes and when is your GST due, and it automates your GST files, your systems, and the important thing is your invoicing. I mean,
Yes.
we all as a business need cash flow to make sure cash comes in.
Correct.
So what the agent does is that it actually sends reminders to outstanding invoices. And it's programmed to, depending on the way you want it, if somebody has not paid it within 30 days, there's an email that goes out on a weekly basis, but maybe after the second or third email, the client gets a call, right? So this is a voice, it turns to a voice thereafter.
Hmm.
So this is one that I think Ali and Jared have sold quite a number of them to small businesses. This particular agent, yeah.
And as you said, it's the wife that often does the books. So
Yeah.
this may save some marriages. This may actually
Oh,
improve. And as we know, happy wife, happy life. So
exactly. Yes.
this could be a win-win for the business, win for the personal life, win for the relationship, win for the family.
Yep.
This talk about gold. There's a lot of
Yeah.
gold right here.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So there's massive benefits. Yeah, as you rightly say, keeps the marriage intact. Because what's more frustrating, and when hubby comes home, oh, we'd run out of cash. Why? Oh, I've forgotten to check the invoices because I've got to take care of the kids. You know, the kids'
Yeah.
demands for this and that. So just having an expert, and then the question is, oh, what is the GST? How much GST we got to pay this month? Did we put it in a separate account? You know, all these things that, which, internal family finances can cause marriage problems. Yep.
Well, as you know, it's the number one cause of relationship issues, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Finances. So what a great what a great tool.
yep,
Let's go to the next one. Cyber security AI agent. Tell me about
yeah.
this one.
Okay. Generally, it acts very much like typical Norton's whatever, but there are many hackers out there, right?
Mm,
And when you get hacked in, and sometimes it's too late. So it actually picks up any security or scammers out there.
mm,
So let me give you an example, or let me ask you a question, Lee. Seniors is one of the biggest markets where they get scammed, right?
yes.
Especially in Australia. I think it's 3 billion a year, right?
Mm,
So the way we thought about this particular cybersecurity agent is and people can get through connecting with, for example, seniors. Now, we use artificial intelligence to gauge communication because that's when the people get scammed, right? So, say, for example, a lady's she's widowed and she's looking back for romance, and you've got somebody overseas, he looks great, all the profile fits, photographs, etc. But the voice behind it is a scammer,
mm.
right? And you get so involved. And there's a language scammers use to try and catch you out, right? So
Wow.
similarly, the AI we use is to pick up those tones and notify you of this is a scam. It will not say stop or anything. It just warns you that it's a scam. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And as you say, people billions of dollars. And you see it on
Yep.
the evening news shows, Current Affair and
Oh,
others. It's every week. Mary spoke to Bob. He was
yep.
overseas. She thought he was fantastic, and two
Sure.
hundred thousand dollars later,
Yep.
Bob's disappeared.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. And the security agent in this particular case is not only that. So let's take the workforce. If you've got a significant workforce, they're on computers. They don't know. So you can see young people coming in innocent about it. There could be a security threat. All right. So installing the agent in there is to pick up any of that threats that are coming through.
Right, right. And
So
you
it's
know
not just
these.
one application. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm thinking back to one of my friends in the valuer business, where at one stage they ended up finding they had a cyber security issue,
Yep.
and it then meant all of the connections with the banks that they had long-term relationships with all fell
Yep.
over, and it literally cost them hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars
Yep.
in terms of business, and valuation of that business took forever for the
Sure.
banks to
Sure.
trust them again. So,
Yep.
so for the pennies that this would cost to set
Yep.
up, it literally, from a business point of view, could
Sure.
save hundreds and hundreds of
Yep.
thousands, if not millions of
Yep.
dollars.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. Oh, definitely. Yep. So,
No,
as I said,
incredible.
it works similarly to many of the other Nortons, McPhee's, and everything else, but we go a step further than that. Yeah, and
Right.
and and we would probably use whatever what we call an API, a link to what antivirus you're using, but
Yes.
we add value to that further. Yeah, it's
So it
not to
takes
say
it.
you got to do away with what you've got, right? Because they do add value
Yes.
in any form of vulnerabilities, but we try to add an extra layer. Yeah,
Yeah. Brilliant. An extra layer of protection.
yeah,
Mate, that's fantastic.
yeah.
Fantastic. Well, the question then becomes, Ron, what next? We've really covered off on a whole range of fantastic. I'm just going to
Sure.
go back here, a whole range of fantastic tools. You've got the AI
Yep.
receptionist, the customer support, the admin,
Yep.
the social media, the data reactivation, the sales agent, the client
Sure.
intake, the
Yep.
SEO agent, the invoicing, the cybersecurity. So
Yep.
coming back to from your point of view, there's a number of things that can happen here. Obviously, people should be making contact directly with
Yep.
multiple AI, and of course,
Yep.
I'm partnering with you guys, particularly in the area of sales and
Sure.
optimization, to
Yes.
improve the performance of
Yep.
businesses. So people can contact either myself
Yep.
or multiple AI to take
Yes.
advantage of these tools. Talk about leading your best life. If you're an entrepreneur, a
Sure.
salesperson, a
Yep.
business owner, if you want to lead your best life, these are tools that can turbocharge in a whole
Yep.
range of areas your business. Ron, is there anything we haven't covered you'd like to cover off on before we move into the home
Yeah.
straight?
Um, Lee, what you're seeing there is probably just the tip of the iceberg of what people need.
Uh-huh.
The models that we've provided are what we call the B2B models, business,
Mm-hmm.
right? I have a viewpoint from a having been involved with AI for a number of years now,
Mm-hmm.
that we went to the chat GDP was general information. The second stage was all imaging, videos, etc. Then we've got agentic AI. What we're showing is agentic AI. Where the new verticals are happening are what we call personalization.
Uh-huh.
Or there's a raft of products that we're looking at into personalization. So let me take, for example, we've got a product that's coming out called Polycare. Polycare is your companion, for example. Um, as a senior, and I work very closely for the well-known doctor with dealing with cognitive issues and brain
Mm-hmm.
training.
Mm-hmm.
So the product under Polycare, let's take, for example, we've got three others. The product is about that companion has an assistant 24/7. So what it does is that, well, you take seniors, for example, and I've done property developments whereby seniors, retirement villages and aged care. The biggest killer for
Yes.
seniors is loneliness. Now you have a companion that you can talk to, but it's not a companion that's just talk about and understanding you. If you're going through cognitive issues, there's also aligning with this particular doctor. We have uh, or a tool that actually analyzes what your cognitive levels are. Then it
Wow.
sets you on a program of actually exercises every day. It wakes you, when you move your phone, a message comes out, how are you today? And you can talk to it. And it talks in different languages. So it's adaptable. So these are the tools. These are still early days. We are developing at the moment. We're dealing another part under Polycare. We've got issues with mental health. And also, we're working very closely with people with disabilities, all right, uh,
Wow.
as a companion, all right. Many people say, oh, they're solely a human. We do understand it, but how many humans can you get to help these people, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the way
Yeah.
we see it. And yes, and we've got a number of them, some very interesting on the horizon, but that's for another time. Um,
Mate, that's
yeah,
fascinating. I mean, I've got a 90-year-old mother and a
yep,
90-year-old mother-in-law, and as you say, the companionship factor and talking to
yes,
someone, and
yep,
and at the same time, exercises to help them with the cognition
yes,
in a kind of structured,
yep,
scientific way would be
yep.
fantastic.
Yes, yes. Yeah. No, certainly. Yeah, if you do that, well, we'll let you know when it's all ready to go.
Okay.
We're still in the development stage. But yeah, that's the next movement. And continuing from the B2B models, there's another one. We've got this thing called Polydocs, where it's a filing system. Um, it's more to do with construction. Yeah, and that is to help automation in terms of getting a project off the ground. Um, and it's generally for bigger projects and bigger businesses. Yeah,
Wow.
that's
Right. So
still
you
in
guys are
development.
going to, clearly you guys are going to continue to apply your knowledge of AI.
Yep,
And as AI continues to develop, you'll keep
sure.
developing products and
Yep.
services
Yeah,
to meet.
and anybody else out there think they AI can improve it, they approach us, we find out what the pain points are.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we analyze and say, can it be automated to
Yep.
help you with your business? And we might have some ready-made tools. like the ones that we've shown you, the agents, which they can just get off the shelf and ready to go. Whereas sometimes we have to develop the others specifically and bespoke for your company. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant, brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, as I say, Ron, for people who want to take this to the next level, then touching base with either multiple AI or myself at PDC, and particularly if you want it to be applying to lead generation, sales, account management, repeat business and referrals, then that's
Yep.
certainly an area that I want to be using the AI to help my clients with. Ron, it's been
Yep.
absolutely fantastic. And I'm just thinking back, who would have thought when you were studying to be an architect that you'd end up
Yeah.
so immersed in this new
Well,
area of AI, eh?
well, put it this way. I'm getting on the years, and the best way to keep your cognitive levels going and keep it intact is to consistently use your brain and get excited about something and wake up in the morning and, feel good about life.
Yes.
And what is a better way to find something interesting and just research it and study it, all right?
Yeah.
I suppose being an architect, you're creative, you're designed to be creative. And I think the creativity has not stopped from there, but not on the drawing scale, but more on tools and how we can improve society. Yep.
Yeah. Keep moving the world forward. And obviously the
Yep.
books, you keep using the AI to help with those
Yep.
books that you're producing as well. Ron,
Oh,
it's been a real joy
thank you.
talking to you today, Ron. And this will go on to help people lead their best lives and create more sales flow and cash flow
Yes,
and freedom. And I look forward to working much more closely with you guys at Multiple AI.
most definitely. Looking forward to it. And
Thanks,
thank you
Ron.
for giving us the opportunity to have a talk.
My pleasure. My pleasure. We'll share this far and wide.
Definitely. Thank you, Lee.
Okay.
All the
Pleasure, Ron.
best.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.